Welcome to this explainer, where we are totally flipping the script on what it means to be successful in business. Forget about 5-star reviews, forget about packed houses. No. Today, we're diving into the fine art of achieving, well, glorious, peaceful, and ultimately unprofitable failure.
So let's just jump right into this masterclass. This is inspired by the absolute pros of failure, and it's all about how you can achieve that beautiful tranquility, that blissful silence of a completely empty restaurant. I mean, that's the dream, right?
Okay, first things first. We've got to start at the beginning, because the foundation, the absolute bedrock of any truly disastrous customer experience, it all starts the second they walk through the door. You have to nail this part by getting it perfectly, catastrophically wrong.
So, what's the goal here? It's simple. You want to make your potential customers feel like they are a massive inconvenience from the literal first second they interact with you. We're not talking about simple neglect here. This is active hostility. You know, that loud sigh when you answer the phone? That's not just a sound. Oh no, that's a statement. That's art. And this number, right here, it just brilliantly illustrates the sheer efficiency of a bad first impression. I mean, think about it. Why waste all that time and energy making a terrible main course when you can lose a customer before they've even seen a menu? It is all about streamlining your path to glorious failure.
Now this is where you can see a true master at work, a real artist. The question, do you have a reservation? It's not a question, it's an accusation. It just creates conflict out of absolutely nothing and sets up this power dynamic where the customer is immediately and without question in the wrong. It's just genius.
Okay, next up, the environment. Once you've, reluctantly let them inside, the goal is to craft an atmosphere so uncomfortable that they're practically begging to leave. And to do that, you're going to need a full-on, multi-sensory assault.
Listen closely here. You must never, ever find a comfortable middle ground with lighting. That is for amateurs. The key is to swing wildly between two totally hostile options. You either blind them with the light of a police interrogation room, or you plunge them into a darkness so complete they're going to need a headlamp just to find their fork. No in between.
Just remember this one rule. Coherence is the enemy. It is the mortal foe of the restaurateur who truly wants to fail. The music, it should give them whiplash. The temperature, it should feel like a form of physical punishment. And the decor? Well, the decor should make them seriously question what century it is.
And this one. This is just beautiful in its simplicity. This single question, who ordered what, it just perfectly communicates that you don't see your customers as people. You see them as forgettable, interchangeable order numbers. This, my friends, is the absolute peak of impersonal service.
All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's talk about the details. Because true greatness, or, in this case, true disastrousness, it's always found in the little things. The small annoyances that all add up to create a truly miserable experience.
And this is just a perfect example of how you can weaponize the mundane. I mean, look at this list. Each item turns a simple table setting into a minefield of tiny little irritations. And of course, the wobbly chair. That's a classic. It creates that subtle, persistent annoyance that just grinds them down throughout the entire meal. Beautiful.
I absolutely love the strategic thinking on display here. It's all about reframing. Dirtiness isn't a bug, it's a feature. See? Those aren't germs, that's just extra flavor. That's not a smudge, that's an artistic fingerprint. You're not being sloppy, you're creating a unique, if slightly biohazardous, brand identity.
Okay, but we live in the modern era, right? So your commitment to failure can't just be, analog. It has to extend into the digital world. You've got to make sure you're repelling customers before they even think about leaving their house.
So the goal here is to use technology not to help, but as a tool for deception. And what's the ultimate prize? Oh, it's luring a hungry customer all the way to your restaurant, only for them to find a locked door because your hours on Google Maps are wrong. That is a chef's kiss moment of pure, unadulterated failure.
Okay, now look at this. This is a perfect example of setting an expectation. It's a promise, right? A promise of customer service. It sounds professional, it sounds helpful, pretty standard stuff.
And then you pulled the rug out. Here is the masterful execution. That giant gap between the promise and the reality, that's where true excellence in failure lives. This isn't just simple neglect. This is long-term, committed, unwavering neglect. It's really something to behold.
So why does any of this matter?
Well, if you follow these steps, as we've laid out in this little satirical guide, it pretty much guarantees you get exactly what you've been working for. A beautifully empty restaurant, a completely ruined reputation, and, hey, tons of free time.
And here's the twist. You have to be careful. Some customers might actually call your place authentic and keep coming back. The fight against success is a daily struggle. But seriously, here's the real point behind all the satire. What this guide really shows us is that creating a good experience isn't about some single grand gesture. It's about not doing 100 tiny annoying things. Success, as it turns out, is often just the absence of all these little failures.
So, I'll leave you with a final thought. A question, really. If you recognized your favorite restaurant in any part of this guide, should you be worried? The next time you're out to eat, is that wobbly table just charmingly rustic, or is it the first sign of a much deeper problem? Maybe this gives us all a whole new way to look at our next dining experience.